Joining me right now is Arkansas Senator, Senate Armed Services and Intelligence Committee member Tom Cotton. Senator, it's great to see you this morning. We have so much to discuss. I want to get your reaction to these emails, as well as important, in my view, is the censoring of them and how social media has taken a side, and they are more powerful than they ever have been, and they are hiding information from the American people. First, tell us your reaction to these emails released indicating Hunter Biden is trying to cash in on his father's position.
Well, Maria, if all these emails are authentic, they confirm what we've long known, that Hunter Biden was trying to cash in on his father's public office, and he's been doing so for decades. Of course, he's not the only member of the Biden family to do that. There was a report earlier this week that Joe Biden's law is advising his campaign on the coronavirus, all while investing money in many highly regulated healthcare companies. Joe Biden's brother has been accused of fraud and dealings with other businesses related to Joe Biden's public office, and his sister has made a lucrative living off of political campaigns. I mean, the question becomes, how many people in the Biden family are cashing in on his public office? I mean, the Biden family is beginning to rival the Clinton family in this regard.
But Senator, how come he is able to just blow off these questions? I mean, obviously, we're in a political environment. We have 19 days until the election. You could understand the average American out there saying, I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know if this is true, if that's true. I mean, he said the other day on the debate stage, when President Trump brought it up, that it's been debunked and there was no pushback. So, and now you've got the social media companies saying, no, we're not going to disseminate this information. Facebook officially said, we're not going to disseminate this information broadly. Twitter officially closed down any account that tried to disseminate these emails so that the American people would understand. I've been screaming about this Russia probe now for 3.5 years, how they spied on a duly elected president unlawfully. They doctored documents. They leaked evidence to the press. They lied to Congress. And yet there's, we have one plea from Kevin Kleinsmith. So, what should the American people believe when you've got such a massive effort to hide the truth?
Maria, I think the American people should believe that where there's smoke, there's probably some fire. The Biden campaign yesterday rushed out a statement saying this is categorically false. But then they walk that back later in the day, say, well, maybe Joe Biden might have met with this Ukrainian businessman who had Hunter Biden on his payroll. But as you point out, look at the behavior of the big tech oligarchs who want to control the Biden administration. They immediately censored this information on Twitter and on Facebook. They locked down the Twitter account of the New York Post, a venerable and major American newspaper. They locked Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press secretary, out of her Twitter account. The big tech oligarchs have declared war on the Republican Party and conservatives, and I promise them, those in Silicon Valley, winter is coming.
Tell me about that. Winter is coming. What do you mean by that? What is coming? Is it that they're going to lose their 230 section of the Telecom Act, that they will no longer be protected from lawsuits?
Well, Section 230 has been too broadly interpreted to give big tech complete immunity. I support legislation that would modify that, make them act in good faith, make them change the terms of their contract. But at this point, Maria, given just how deeply in the pocket of the Democratic Party they are, now that these big tech oligarchs have completely thrown in with Joe Biden, I think it's time that we consider the outright repeal of Section 230. And look what the left wing wants to do in Washington. They want to break up these companies. Do these companies think that Republicans are going to come to their defense? And they are censoring our voters across the heartland? Hardly so. So my message, once again, to the big tech oligarchs is winter is coming.
Well, I mean, look, in 2016, you had a similar situation, right? I mean, you had, you put in the Republican, you put GOP in there, and stories of Nazism came up. I mean, I remember that story in the 2016 excitement of the election. GOP typed in a Google search and stories of Nazism came up. I mean, this actually happened. In 2016, you type in Hillary Clinton, you get all, puppies and rainbows stories about Hillary Clinton. And then you type in Donald Trump and it's all evil. So they have done something to the algorithms that are enabling this, and apparently they're doing it again. We reported yesterday that they're now trying to flip the Senate. What are you doing to stop this?
Yeah, and Maria, companies like Google are happy to work with the Chinese Communist Party, but they refuse to work with the United States military. Or look at what Amazon did just this week, refusing to post a documentary by respected scholar Shelby Steele. We're going to take a look at the tech companies' protections from liability. Justice Clarence Thomas just said this week that the Supreme Court needs to take a case to review this to correct erroneous decisions that have expanded that liability. The Department of Justice is looking carefully at antitrust lawsuits against some of these companies. All options will be on the table now that these big tech oligarchs have declared open war on the Republican Party and conservatives across America.
All right, we will leave it there. Senator, when you come back, I've got to ask you about a head scratcher and why China is on a committee of human rights at the UN when we know 1 million plus Uyghurs are locked up right now in China. You just can't make this stuff up. Senator, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you so much. Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas. Be sure to pre-order my new book. It's all in there.